Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm going to do a quick reaction video to these squads being out for the first round of the Six Nations. Before then, just a quick thanks to Mark, who's given me this lovely Leinster shirt behind. Much appreciated. And of course, if Ireland beat England in the first game, the forfeit for Mark, from Mark, is that I wear the Ireland shirt when I do the review. If anybody else wants to donate a Scotland or a Wales jersey per se, that would be awesome to complete the collection. If an old one kicking around would be great. Just email me at rugbyanalyst@mail.com. Anyway, straight on to these teams. So England have put their teams out, and it's pretty much as expected. With the injury to Teo and Shields, you've got Wilson going straight in at 6. So that makes an awful lot of sense there. You know, he's been performing incredibly well in the autumn internationals, and maybe he would have started anyway. I don't think he would, and I think they may have reacted to the fact that Shields is out by bolstering the line out. So we've got Cruz in, as you can see. I'll put the teams up over that side there. Cruz is in ahead of Launchbury and Laws. In fact, Launchbury doesn't make the team at all, doesn't make the 23, which is really interesting. So what are they trying to do? Well, Launchbury's a big ball carrier. He's a big hitter in defence, high work rate. He's not in at all. They've clearly gone for the athletic ability and the line-out ability. Toje Cruz are a pairing at Saracens. Cruz is a line-out expert. And Ireland have Toner and Omani, who are probably two of the best line-out exponents in the world. So it could be a bit of a counter to that, to try and actually get a bit of parity at the line-out if possible. If they got thumped at the line-out, it could be game over. So that's maybe why Launchbury has been axed there potentially, even though myself and many people had him as a starter. Anyway, pack is as we thought, to be honest. Youngs and Farrell 9 and 10, and then centres Tuolangi and Slade. It's a classic combination. Big guy, skill guy, plus Slade's obviously got kicking and passing as well, and they could swap those guys around depending what sort of starter play they want to do off first phase. So it's very flexible. I like it. Mays in on the wing, which is great. Daly they're sticking with at fullback. Now, throughout the week, I'd heard lots of chat about Brown starting, which I thought maybe he could have to counter Ireland's kicking threat, but he's stuck with Daly, as I did actually in my team last week. He's kind of saying, you're my man, I need you to have more experience. If I'm going to start you in the World Cup, which is what it looks like, he's just saying get as much experience at fullback as possible, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Which is, probably the way to go, and it's the way I'd selected it. Cowan-Dickie, replacement hooker, of course, but Genge is straight back in onto that bench instead of Moon. And it's not a surprise because Eddie Jones loves Genge. He name drops him all the time. He's a real powerhouse. They clearly have gone for power and speed around the pitch over maybe scrummaging in some of their prop selections. But you do have Big Williams to come on, shore up the scrum if you need to as well. So Cowan-Dickie, Genge, Williams. Laws is your replacement second row, as I thought. Good impact, good line-out jumper again. Hughes is on the bench. He loves Nathan Hughes. He likes that size. He wants a replacement for Billy V. And Billy V's only played a couple of games back, so again, it actually might be sensible having that straight 8 replacement. Then we've got Robson, Ford as your unsurprising half-back replacements, because they were the only two that went on the Portugal camp. And he's gone for Ashton as the backup. I was wondering if it was going to be Noel as backup, but he's starting. So Ashton obviously covers back 3. And then you've got Daly, who could be moved around a little bit. Noel could be moved around a little bit. So you've got enough cover there, no problem. So that's the England team, kind of as expected. They're going to be trying to be really, really accurate in what they do, really in your face, straight up and down some of the time, good kicking game, a little bit of a gamble maybe in the back 3, selecting Daly, but they've gone with what they think is their best team rather than a specific one for this game, I think. Maybe a little reaction with Cruz there in the second row. Anyway, that's the England team. Let me know what you think. Was it the right selection? I'm pretty happy with it. I can't really see anything I would do particularly differently considering a couple of injuries they had midweek. Okay, now on to the Ireland team that's just come out. So the pack is exactly as expected, as I selected last week. No surprises whatsoever in the starting pack. So it's their almost their World Cup pack, possibly with O'Brien getting in there if he has a run of form. So that's what I like about this England-Ireland game. They're fully stacked. There's no excuses. These guys are going at it with almost their World Cup teams. Murray and Sexton in at 9 and 10, so a little thoughts in the week from Irish media about maybe Carbery getting in at 10. Absolutely not. Sexton starting. And midfield is as was. Aki and Ringrose. Stockdale one wing, Earls on the wings. But the surprise at fullback is Henshaw is in. Now, if anybody knows differently, I'm thinking that's more of a let's get Henshaw in and see what he can do if he's going to be our backup 15. He's probably going Carbery as the backup 10, and you wouldn't want Carbery to cover both, I suppose. But then Lama's on the bench. Does that mean Carney's not quite fit? So is it Carney's not fit, or they want to see Henshaw in there? Or if Carney is fit, they don't think he's much of an impact replacement, so they've stuck with Lama anyway. A little bit of a kick for Lama, who maybe thought he was the second choice in that 15 shirt to start. But Schmidt loves Henshaw. He's a class player. Can he get him in his team? It's a tiny experiment, I suppose, but he's such a good player. It's one worth taking, and you might as well do it now if you're going to do it at all. So anyway, pretty much fully strength Ireland team against a pretty much fully strength England team. In the replacements, Kilcoyne has edged out McGrath, which is interesting. Comments below why he's done that. Quinn Roux is the replacement second row, which I had suggested last week, although a number of commenters thinking he might not be quite the same quality as a Henderson or a Byrne. O'Brien is on the bench, which is great. That's a scary replacement. And then Cooney, Carbery, Lama, exactly as I'd gone for last week. So very few surprises between the England and Ireland teams. Who's going to be the best team on the day? Well, odds would say Ireland, but England have the personnel. They're fully stacked. At the end of this game, we're going to know exactly where they stand. We think Ireland are a fair bit ahead of England, but we'll know for sure after Saturday. Anyway, comment on the Ireland team. Let me know what you think. Right, on to Wales. Front five of Wales is exactly as I selected. Front row's the same, second row's the same. Pretty much everyone had agreed that Beard should carry on at second row, and Gatland agrees as well. So that's a very solid front five. No one could agree on the back row, but everyone agreed that Navidi should be somewhere. I'd actually gone for Thomas Young at 7 just because I like him, but he hasn't made the cut at all, which is fair enough. It was a bit of a, just a favouritism from me really. But he's gone for Navidi at 6, Tipuric at 7, Moriarty at 8. Very good back row, very balanced, got a bit of everything. Navidi, I think, should hit the ground running as he always tends to. Is Moriarty fully fit? We'll find out, but he's a tough guy and he'll put a shift in, no doubt. So very strong pack there. And it is probably the worst time to go and play France, I'd say, in the Six Nations. At home, they haven't had any losses, they haven't had any problems. The camp's probably as happy as it's going to be, plus they're going to be incredibly fervent and patriotic at home. So it's going to be a tough one for Wales. At 9's an interesting story. So Thomas Williams starts and Gareth Davis on the bench. So Gareth Davis clearly fit enough to play some part. Is it a fitness thing, or is Thomas Williams just playing so well, which I think he is, that he's in over him? Thomas Williams could take first choice spot from Gareth Davis. He's that good. I think he's probably even slightly more talented than Rhys Webb or Gareth Davis. Can he mature in time? Let me know what you think. The backs are exactly as I'd selected last week, with Adams and North on the wing, Gareth Anscombe carrying on at 10, Liam Williams at 15. So, no surprises for me there at all. I think that's their best backline that they can put out at the moment, possibly with Halfpenny in when he's fit. Ever reliant, reliable, bigger on the bench if needed. Owen Watkin I want to see coming on in the centres for sure. And then your normal backups, D, Wyn Jones, Samson Lee, Corey Hill, second row. Wayne Wright's coming in. I want to see him. Heard lots of good things about him. He should get a chance in the back row for sure. He could be a bit of a bolter for the World Cup. Anyway, that's the Wales team. Let me know what you think. Was it the right selection? I'm saying yes. I can't really see anything I'd have massively done differently. I put Thomas Young in there just because there's a bit of a throwaway because I like the guy. But I can see what they've done. So the Scotland team is out. Front row's pretty much exactly as I'd selected, Dell, McAnally and Nell. Tulis is in the second row, but alongside Gilchrist. A lot of people were backing Gilchrist to start anyway. Is Gray injured? I couldn't actually quite work out at the time of doing this video, so just let me know. I think he is, because he's not in the 23 at all. Many people were saying maybe he doesn't get in on merit anyway, and Gilchrist and Tulis are the two best second rows. So that's the Edinburgh pairing. In fact, it's the Edinburgh front five. So, that's the form front five in Scotland, so that's pretty cool. Sam Skinner does play 6. Now, I said he probably would play 6, and I would start him at 6. It gives him an awesome range in their line-out, a bit more size as well. Richie's come in replacement of Watson at 7, so that's a big step up for him, see if he can fill Watson's shoes. And they've gone for Ryan Wilson at 8. I had gone for Strauss at 8. Many people commenting that Strauss had actually slowed down a bit. Many people going for Wilson, so that's fair enough. I'll stand corrected there. Laidlaw and Russell, your 9 and 10, of course. In the centres, they've gone for Sam Johnson starting in the centres with Hugh Jones. Loads written about him. He's got a great highlight reel. He's been playing really well. So I think that's a good call. Get him in there. Let's see what he's got. And they are starting Kinghorn on the wing, as I said they should do last week. I think he's a class player. I think he's got to start somewhere. He can't take over Hogg at the moment because Hogg's that good, and Seymour comes in for Maitland on the wing. So it's a very strong team. Possibly a few question marks to see how that back row goes, but a lot of people in form picked there, which is what I quite like. Then on the bench, Kerr, Batty, Bergen. Graham's the backup flanker with Strauss, backup number 8. No backup second row, but that's not a problem because obviously Skinner can go into second row, so that's what's going on there. Then your best backup half-back pairings in Price and Hastings. Loads of pace, excitement to come on. It's a fantastic impact 9-10 sub. And then Harris as your centre replacement on the bench with a bit of a point to prove. So it's a strong Scotland team. I expect them to be far too strong for Italy, but we shall see. But tell me if you think you agree with that selection or if you'd change it. Anyway, there we go. England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, all the teams are out. We've got not long to wait now. 1 day to go, and then 1 game Friday, 2 games Saturday, and then I'll be back next week to review how the games have gone. Maybe wearing that Ireland shirt there, maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, until next time, I will see you then.